It's an ML Sports Take here, brought to you by Batavia Downs Gaming and St. Bonaventure University's online Masters in Journalism. Please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel at ML Sports Platter. So St. Bonaventure goes down again on the road last night. VCU takes care of SBU 75-61, and a couple of things here. The Bonnies were up at the half 33-25, right? So they have an 8-point lead. They're executing offensively. Obviously Chance Moore came back in this game. He ended up with 21 points and 8 rebounds, just had a fantastic game. But I got to tell you, at the half, I still felt not great because I just felt something in that arena was going to happen. VCU with the revenge factor, they get on these runs and they're really hard to slow down. And look, it was about as well as the Bonnies could have played in the first half. Now, you relied a lot on your starters. And again, this is the weird conundrum of this whole Bonaventure lineup rotation, guys in and out, right? Bench guys not getting a lot of time throughout. You run into a problem with Chance Moore being out. Then guys get thrown to the wolves. They don't have a lot of experience. They're kind of running around trying to figure out what to do. Then you get Chance Moore back. Then you play 5 guys like crazy between 36 and 40 minutes, and you get nothing from the bench again. You have 6 minutes played between Wedlow and Bologna. I mean, that's just not, both of these things are just in the air, and you're trying to juggle, and like the balls keep falling on the floor. And yeah, I don't know what I don't know what the mix is at this point. I don't know what the rotation is at this point. I don't know how you can get guys in at this point if they weren't in before. When you have problems with the starting lineup, I'm not really sure. If guys aren't going to play, then just don't play them. And then you try to get them in there in emergency situations, and then they don't play against a team like VCU that's incredibly credible. And VCU's hotter than a pistol, by the way. They've won, 6 straight now? They've been playing great in A10 play, and they're now 16-4. So you could argue, between them and Mason, et cetera, who the best team in the conference is. But when you look at this situation with Bonaventure, they're up at the half, and I was kind of honestly dreading the second half because I just had a feeling that VCU was going to come out and just play great basketball. Chance Moore got a layup. Shoga answers with a layup. Then Russell makes a 3, and it's like a 35-30 game. And you could start to feel the momentum after he made that next 3, in my opinion, at 17:02. It was a 2-point game, and then all of a sudden, you had the hit and turnover, another basket leads to a 35-35 game for VCU. And at that point, I was like, uh-oh. Because VCU, you could clearly see that they were in attack mode in the half court. They were absolutely playing faster. They were executing better. They were passing the ball quicker. Guys were in spots better. The home court was coming alive. And the Bonnies were turning the ball over. And also, even when the Bonnies did play really good defense on multiple occasions, the VCU offense was not missing. I mean, you shoot, 61% or whatever it was in the second half. You're pretty much, as Coach Schmidt said, you're pretty much going to beat anybody at that point. Council had an awful turnover at the just under 12 minutes. And then the Bonnies just kept, and Hinton had another turnover. There were a couple right in a row there. All of a sudden, you're down 46-40, and VCU, in my opinion, was in complete control of the basketball game. I know it got to 4. I know it got to 5. I know as you go through here, it got to 3. Shoga makes the 3-pointer. They get the big dunk. The crowd's electric. But again, turnovers. I thought VCU's execution was terrific. They turned the tables quickly. The home court got involved big time. You had missed layups. And also, a couple of guys in the starting rotation for the Bonnies. I just don't understand what's going on here. All right. Jonah Hinton makes a 3. And listen, he's a dynamic, fast player. Even with the ball, you saw that quick little move, that I'm going this way. No, I'm going back, pop and stop, bang, knock the 3-pointer down. But he makes 1 3-pointer, and he thinks he's Larry Bird, Reggie Miller, Steph Curry, and Michael Jordan mixed together. He thinks he can then go just start chucking. And what happens is It really kills possessions when he does this. Usually when he does something like that, the ball goes back down the other way and the other team scores. I don't have a percentage. I just know what my eyes see. That most cases, Hinton, when he makes a three, you're like, okay, great momentum. But hang on, dude. Don't chuck it from 33 next time just because you feel like it and the shot's not there. He does it again and again and again. And in most cases, the opposition, I don't care if it's VCU, I don't care if it's LaSalle, I don't care who they come back down and they score. Happens all the time. He was 2 for 8 from 3. And those 2 3-pointers now become not as important when you go and miss 6 3-pointers, many of which were taken careless in a careless manner. St. Bonaventure also shooting 19 threes. Again, I do not like that. I don't want 19 threes shot. It's a panic thing. It's let me take it in my own hands, whoever it might be, whether it's Jones or it's Hinton or it's Moore, whoever it is. Enough of that stuff. They got to try and execute better than that. I also don't know why this team can't succeed in the mid-range game. I've been yelling for it for like a month. I don't know why you can't just stop and pop and nail that. It's college basketball. It's a fundamental thing. If your offense isn't working, set more screens, move better. All these things offensively are going on right now. But that with Hinton, that drives me crazy. The other thing offensively that's driving me bananas is this whole Noel Brown thing. I understand he had 10 points, 10 rebounds. I understand he's a big guy. I understand he's physical. I understand he can rebound. I understand that he can be productive. But you got to go to him when it's right. You can't go to him when there's an anticipated double team that you can see a second coming. I mean, when the ball's here and a player goes like this ready to dump it in, you can see a player waiting for that pass to help on defense. You can see him coming across. So there's an anticipated double team, or he has a bad one-on-one matchup, or the offense is just out of sync in general and they dump it down to him for fun. It just doesn't work in all those phases of the basketball game. It just doesn't. So they've got to figure out a way to like stop doing the dumping to Brown when it does not work from a matchup perspective and you don't have him low enough before the help defense comes across. He's got to be able to catch, turn, and it's right there. Or again, the other problem is they bring him out too far. They bring him out in the foul line area, out to just set the screen and now go roam around and figure something out. And then we'll probably dump it to you anyway when you have a double team. That is just not, it's just bad coaching. It's just, I don't know what that does. Bringing him way out. Bonaventure loves those high big guy screens. When it works, fine, but this team doesn't have the mobility on offense to get him away quickly and get him back down. It doesn't have the mobility on offense. And frankly, a lot of the mobility has to do with Melvin Council Jr., which I'm going to end with, is that this guy, clearly a lot of teams have figured out how to contain him. He had 10 points last night. He had a couple of really, really, really bad turnovers last night. I mean, he had 7 total in this game. He was not good. He did find a way to get 6 rebounds. I give him credit for that. He is a fighter. He is a grinder. He's a guy that does still have the ability to get to the rim, but clearly teams have figured him out. And now you have to, if you're the Bonnies, you have to figure out another way to get people the basketball. They're moving their chess pieces back. The video is out there. They've contained Council. Figure out a way to get him the ball in other situations. Again, you got to mix some things up. I don't know what it takes. Is it better pressure defense in order to then get the offense going? A lot of the pressing that they're doing doesn't seem to work consistently as well. So this is what the game is like, man. When you start slumping and teams are getting to you and there's a lot of tape out there and your best player at one point for about a month is now getting neutralized, your offensive, #1 guy is getting neutralized, you've got to figure out to keep moving the chess pieces back the other way. And Bonaventure cannot do that right now offensively. Instead, what they do is, well, it's not there. Let's just bomb a 32-footer. That is not going to get it done because then you go 4 for 19 from 3. You're wasting possessions. Oh, by the way, you're wasting rebounding, which Bonaventure did fairly well last night. They had 38 rebounds to the 30 of VCU. But VCU executed. They came at them full steam ahead in the second half. They had more execution beyond the Bonnies times 100. And on both ends of the floor, it was just a total mismatch. And then you had the turnovers, which were added to it. I mean, Bonaventure turned turns it over 16 times. Many of those create fast break points and easy stuff the other way, plus back into a half-court set sooner. I think that is one of the things in basketball, college hoops, doesn't get talked about enough. It's not just when you get a turnover and then you go right the other way and you get an easy layup or a dunk or whatever, even a wide open three. A lot of times what happens is if you get a turnover close to half court, you get back right over, and even if the defense catches up, they're still kind of backpedaling and guessing in the half court. You get back in a half court sooner, and then your points happen as well. So all of those things can happen, and the Bonnies just could not keep up with VCU in the second half. The final 75-61. Mike Lindsley here. It's an ML Sports Take brought to you by St. Bonaventure University's online Masters in Journalism. Become a Bonnie today at sbujournalism.com. And we also thank Camillus Golf Club and Batavia Downs Gaming. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.